Welcome back to Conspiracywhy, our second episode. We'll take a look at the Mandela effect and the supposed death of Paul McCartney. We'll take a look, read some articles, and I'll give my opinion at the end. Let's go. In life, good things happen and bad things happen, but a certain group of people refuse to accept the findings of what happened. This is where the conspiracy is born. I'll be your host, Arthur Wells, through this journey of knowns and unknowns, information and misinformation of some of the world's most important solved and unsolved mysteries. Welcome to Conspiracywhy. This article is from Esquire, dated January 4th, 2021. The Mandela effect is a phenomenon that makes us question even the most mundane memories from the past. In June 2019, the famed New York Times crossword puzzle made this the theme and defined it as a recent refinement of false memory that typically refers to pop culture or current event references. Named by paranormal researcher FIONA Broome, it's basically remembering something that doesn't matches with historical records. For example, the stuff you use to make your home smell fresh isn't Febreze. Broome has said that she loves the idea that the Mandela effect and others claiming they distinctly recall different events or details could be proof that we're existing in an alternate reality. We're not so sure that is true, but the comparisons between popular belief and reality is making our jaws hit the floor as we type. Let's take a look at some of the more famous Mandela effects. But first, let's take a look at the genesis of this conspiracy. Nelson Mandela, who this theory is named after, died in 2013. However, countless people distinctly remember him dying in prison in the 1980s, but his death isn't the only example of a Mandela effect. We have been wrong about so many dates, details, and more. They say it's Jiff, not Jiffy. Looney Tunes, Tunes, not Tunes, Toons. Curious George is missing the tail. Febreze is missing a E. Star Wars, Darth Vader did not say, "Luke, I am your father." He said, "No, I am your father." And Mona Lisa isn't smiling much anymore. Alright, let's break this thing down. Now, as we get older in life, we do misremember. But for me, it's almost entirely impossible to get a group of people, a nation of people, a world of people to misremember certain things. Like I said, I do agree that we do lose our memory capacity as we get older. But it's just something about this theory that bothers me, because I don't feel that I misremember things a lot. I have a great memory, especially long-term memory. Short-term might be a little shot as I get older, but my long-term memory is golden. And a lot of these Mandela effects just seem like it's not humanly possible. Some people say that it's information that's being skewed as it goes through another universe, or parallel universe, or black hole, or white hole. But that's a case for another day. So I'm gonna have to say, with this conspiracy, I'm 45, 55. 45 for the conspiracy and 55 against the conspiracy. Because we might just be all misremembering, right? Moving on. This article is from Live Science. Paul McCartney is not dead. Until mid-2019, he was still touring, in fact, and probably still would be if not for a certain virus, which canceled most of his gigs. He gives interviews. He has a website. He occasionally appears in the tabloids. Pretty good for a guy that some conspiracy theorists think died in 1966. The Paul is dead conspiracy goes a little something like this. On November 9th, 1966, Paul McCartney got into an argument with the other Beatles, stormed out of the studio, and was promptly decapitated in a car accident. To cover the whole thing up, the band hired a look-alike and a sound-alike. After going through all this trouble, though, the band then took great pains to drop clues in their album covers and lyrics to hint to the public that something was amiss. For example, on the cover of the Abbey Road album, all four Beatles are photographed striding across a zebra crossing, but only McCartney is barefoot and out of step with the other three. This must mean something, right? Despite public denials by the band and other many public appearances by McCartney, fans couldn't just let it be and came together to look for more clues. Alright, let's go down this rabbit hole. Wouldn't even call it a rabbit hole, more like a little mice hole. Let's get this straight. In my opinion, if this incident actually happened, the record label would actually benefit from his death. Take a look at all of the artists or drill rappers from today that pass away suddenly. That record label makes 10 times to 20 times more than they would have off of a regular album with that artist being alive. But there is something to be said about the Beatles actually putting those subliminal messages in certain album covers and music. One of their songs, if you play it backwards, it says that Paul is dead. So why would you do that? What they did was they knew about the conspiracy and fed into it, so they cannot be angry or upset that their fans bought into the conspiracy when they were part of the conspiracy. They pushed it for sales. They knew it would do well. So it's actually some of their fault. It's actually their problem to deal with. So I definitely don't want to hear any complaining from Paul and the rest of the Beatles about that conspiracy, because they fed into it and they actually sold more albums. People actually wanted to see the album cover, inside the album cover. They wanted to listen to the music, listen to it backwards, to see could they possibly find any clues on Paul McCartney's death. So I'm gonna have to go 5%, 95%, 5% for the conspiracy and 95% against the conspiracy, because it's actually their own doing. That's why I give them the 5%. And as I always say, you have to go with a percentage that's opposite, because in fact, you might be wrong. Thanks for watching episode 2. I've been your host, Arthur Wells. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit up the comment section and let me know your percentage of each mystery. Thanks for watching Conspiracy Why.